Units of the 10th Separate Mountain Assault Brigade Edelweiss of Ukraine successfully repelled a massive assault by Russian forces in the Siversk sector. According to Defense Express, the enemy launched 8 separate assaults on the positions of Ukrainian defenders. However, thanks to the heroism and professionalism of the warriors from the 10th Brigade Edelweiss, all these attacks were repelled, resulting in significant losses for the enemy. In total, the occupiers deployed around 30 units of armored vehicles and over 70 motorcycles and buggies. These vehicles attacked in waves and from different directions, attempting to break through the defensive line. Additionally, approximately 300 Russian soldiers participated in the assault. Nevertheless, the Ukrainian brigade and supporting units managed to repel the attack, inflicting heavy losses in both personnel and armored vehicles. FPV drones were actively used to intercept enemy columns, effectively targeting heavily armored vehicles, infantry, motorcycles, and buggies. The enemy lost 3 infantry fighting vehicles that were transporting troops, 13 motorcycles, 4 buggies, 1 MTLB tractor, 1 120mm mortar, and 1 vehicle. In addition to the 10th Separate Mountain Assault Brigade, units of the 54th Mechanized Brigade and the 81st Air Assault Brigade and the 4th Operational Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine participated in repelling the assault. The situation in the Siversk sector remains tense as the occupiers continue to attempt to breach the Ukrainian defensive lines. Russian troops continue assaults on the Siversk front. Russian commanders are sending occupiers in one direction with no expectation that they will return, says Stepan Barna, the commander of the Barny unit of the Motorized Infantry Battalion of the Edelweiss 10th Mountain Assault Brigade, according to the Kiev 24 channel. A recent BBC analysis reveals that the occupiers have abandoned meat grinder tactics with dozens of soldiers charging across open fields. Now, they send smaller groups on motorcycles, civilian vehicles, and even electric scooters to target Ukrainian positions. While many are eliminated, the sheer number of attempts means some groups eventually break through to reach their objectives. Despite heavy Russian losses, this strategy allows them to capture about 1 Ukrainian village per day. Bana has also confirmed that occupiers are using motorcycles in their assaults. Some of these vehicles are intercepted by Ukrainian forces. The motorcycles are only fueled for a one-way trip, meaning there is no expectation that the soldiers will return. They prefer to move on buggies, but we also seize many motorcycles. It's clear that they are only fueled for a one-way journey. That means the motorcycle definitely won't return, Bana said. He added that the enemy is attacking from all directions in the Siversk area, attempting to break through the defense line quickly. The Siversk front is located in eastern Ukraine, specifically within the Donetsk Oblast, near the town of Siversk.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday thanked Prime Minister Donald Tusk for Poland's support of Ukraine's EU and NATO bids. Poland understands how important it is in our part of Europe that security is truly guaranteed and that there is no geopolitical uncertainty, Zelensky said at a joint briefing in Kiev. Tusk has said that negotiations over Russia's war in Ukraine could start, in the winter, as his country prepares to take over the rotating presidency of the European Union on January 1st. Poland has been one of Ukraine's strongest backers against Russia's full-scale invasion, which began in February 2022. Poland will assume the EU presidency just weeks before President-elect Donald Trump takes office in the US. Trump has been pushing for an end to the war in Ukraine and during his campaign said that he could settle the matter in a day if he were elected.
Заява президента України.
Дуже дякую. Дуже дякую твоїй команді за підтримку. Дякуємо народові Польщі. Наступного року Польща буде головувати в Раді Євросоюзу, і це головування може принести нам хороші результати в наближенні до вступу в ЄС. Як мінімум кілька кластерів ми готуємось відкрити, ми будемо все робити для цього в перемовному процесі.
що я скажу, від чого я почав сьогодні візит у Львові.
Я вдячний Польщі за підтримку нашого прагнення стати і повноправним членом НАТО, якнайшвидше отримати запрошення в Альянс. Польща розуміє, як це важливо в нашій частині Європи, щоб безпека була дійсно гарантована і щоб не було жодної геополітичної невизначеності.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk in Kiev on Tuesday. That happened after a senior Russian general was killed by a bomb hidden in a scooter outside his apartment building in Moscow earlier in the day. A Ukrainian official said its service carried out Tuesday's attack that killed Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, as well as his assistant. The official spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to release the information. The bombing came a day after Ukraine's security service leveled criminal charges against Kirillov, who was the chief of the Russian military's nuclear, biological and chemical protection forces. Kirillov was under sanctions from several countries, including the UK and Canada, for his actions in Moscow's war in Ukraine.